Hi, I know I haven't made a video in a good while, but some of the stuff that I've been working on I'm going to be talking about in this video, and that is what I'm going to be doing for my future. And so it's a bit of background information. So I graduated from biomedical science and pharmacology just over a year ago. And so I come out with the Bachelor's of Science degree. And a year ago, I applied for a master's course in pharmacology toxicology, and I really wanted pharmacology back then. That I thought was my calling, and I didn't want to become a pharmacist, but I really wanted to work for a drug company and do research on new chemicals. But something like in my previous videos, I said something big happened in my last year of university. The last semester of university, I was diagnosed, and that really changed things up for me big time in terms of my future planning. Very quickly after the diagnosis and after reading up so much about it and researching, and I found that very appealing. I quickly dropped pharmacology as an interest, and I did this because I realized my interest in pharmacology was basically just me trying to learn more about myself through the mechanism of actions of drugs on the brain and the brain chemistry. I was researching myself through a pharmacology textbook, and after the diagnosis that I had a label, and there was a kind of a new schema to view myself through that was much more accurate than any information I'm going to find in a pharmacology textbook. Pharmacology went downhill. So I got accepted to that pharmacology toxicology master's program, and I went for the interview. I went to the school. I got accepted, and I was ready to start in it would have been last September. I would have been ready to start last September. But like I said, the diagnosis really shook things up a bit, in a good way, and I declined taking the course after I was already accepted. I said no thanks. This would have happened eventually. Eventually, I would have, if not for getting diagnosed last year, I would have eventually have gotten diagnosed, and it would have probably be better to realize that I'm not interested in pharmacology for the actual business aspects, but more for my self-interest, right? So I think it would have happened that I would have eventually dropped pharmacology because I would get diagnosed at some point in the future. So better that it happened last year than after I'd already be working for a drug company or whatever. So yeah, so it's taken a while for me to get back on course. I've started thinking what career would work for me. What career or what interests do I have that's not propelled by my wanting to learn more about me. They're almost like a selfish interest. I need to find an interest of mine that's not selfish, because that's probably more appropriate to make a career out of, rather than something like pharmacology. So I was even thinking about doing some autism research, taking a learning disabilities master's course. But I think that's also another selfish thing to do, because if I think about it, how am I going to make a living out of that? I mean, I'm sure it's a possibility, but in my mind, it's becoming more and more apparent that that's kind of like a pipe dream. I don't think I'm going to be able to make a career out of that. That might be something I would like to do on the side, and for sure, I enjoy doing that kind of thing. But like I said before, it's something more appropriate to be done on the side rather than having that be my primary career. So I've been thinking for a while, what's an appropriate job environment for me. And my family knows that I like learning new things all the time, and I get very excited while picking up new information and reading about things, and constantly knowing what's the newest stuff out there in certain research areas. So so my family thinks I like the new, like I need to be at the front lines of things and constantly need new material to stimulate me. Um, However, they aren't entirely correct in that assumption. If my job, I don't think can be like that. I can't have a job that is going to be extremely fast paced and is going to require constant, protocol changes and new projects to work on. I can't have a job like that. I need a routine job. I need a boring job. Well, it won't be boring for me, but I need a job that I can go in every day and predict exactly what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to use, these specific protocols to do this and this, and there's not going to be so much interchangeability between these things. It's going to be fairly, constant process. I need a job like that. I won't get bored either. It routine helps organize my thoughts. I get a charge out of doing things over and over again, doing routines. I get certain comfort from that. So my job environment will have to be something routine like. It's fine if it's a new environment, but it's fine if I'm going from place to place, but I need a kind of schedule for what I'm going to be doing, and it can't be new stuff constantly. So I was thinking about going into like electrical engineering for a good while, but the thing is, I really like hands-on practical stuff. And when you are an electrical engineer and you're working and you're designing something, you're doing exactly that. You're designing. So you take out this big printout from some CAD software, and it's just diagrams. You're using logic and mathematics in your head to get some result from whatever piece of electronic you're designing or whatever it is, but you're not actually interacting with the electronics. What you do is, after you have your whole your blueprints, your CAD, the schematic, then you go and you send it to a company and they make the circuit for you. So that research and design doesn't really interest me. I don't want to go to work and open up a thing on a table and think about. I don't want to do that. I want more of the hands-on stuff. Designing is not routine at all. It's something completely new. I think I'd get really tired from that. I'd get really stressed out from that. So I need to. So I was thinking about doing maybe electrical engineering technology, or being a technologist or something like that. Something that involves more of the hands-on practical side of things, whereas something like electrical engineering would lead more to the theoretical design process. So that's where I'm at now. So yeah, I'm going to be going back to school. I don't want to get a job now. I would like to I want to continue my education. That's for sure. I still do like learning, but it's going to be very different. I'm not going to be in the sciences anymore, like I thought I would, like I was, like where I was heading before. I mean, I guess I consider electrical stuff. It is sciencey, for sure. But it's not going to be, it's not going to be the medicine path. I was thinking about optometry. It's not going to be that. Optometry was in my head also quite high up on the list of what I wanted to do, because optometrists, they can only do so much. They only have so many procedures that they could do in their office before saying, okay, it's out of my hands. I'm going to refer you to an ophthalmologist. But so there's routine there for sure, right? Like I have the pieces of equipment. I go into work and I'm using the piece of equipment on every patient or whatever it is. It's routine. But do I have what it takes for the business aspects of it? Do I have what it takes to interact with patients every day? It's one thing just doing routines to patients and not talking to them, but it's another thing doing the small chit-chat on the side, organizing, planning, scheduling patients. And I mean, you have receptionists that do that, or your colleagues or whatever, but there are a lot of other aspects of being an optometrist that I don't think are my strong points. So I need to find, I need a job that's somewhat solitary, that I can do my own thing. And so right now I'm thinking the electrical engineering technologist, or so yeah, that's basically where I'm at, and that's kind of been keeping me busy deciding on stuff like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.